People have been doing some pretty stupid stuff with the Apple Vision Pro recently, including driving.
But now I can't see anything.
But then Marques Brownlee said this.
The first generation iPhone had all of the same downfalls in its generation, and look at where we are now.
If this technology is only going to get better, should it be legal to wear while driving? And could it actually make driving safer? Before diving into the legal and safety issues, we need to understand why everyone is freaking out so much over the Apple Vision Pro. This video is sponsored by NordVPN. More on them in a minute. There are a lot of admittedly cool features on this new gadget, but the two that are most relevant for today's conversation are pass-through mode and pinning windows. Pass-through mode makes it feel like you're looking through ski goggles when you put on the headset, but that's not what's actually happening. You're actually looking at the world through the device's cameras being projected onto two screens that your eyes are looking at inside the mask. And apparently the cameras and screens are so good and so fast that every tech reviewer on YouTube is raving about this technology. They say the pass-through mode is not only the best on the market, but it's the first to truly feel like there's nothing between your eyes and the outside world.
This is wild. It's impossible for me to imagine that you can't see what I can see. Everything seems so real.
But that's just half of it. The ability to pin windows and apps around your environment is insane. Watch how Marques Brownlee can pin an app in the air in his parking lot, walk inside, and then still see the app pinned to that same spot in the parking lot. And this reaction says a lot.
I do feel like I'm in a video game though. Like I'm driving in a video game.
And yes, it does seem crazy to think about people wearing this device while driving. But today, this is the worst this technology will ever be. 17 years ago, there was no iPhone. And 8 years ago, AirPods did not exist. Yet now we see a phone glued to every hand and a bud in every ear. If Apple Vision Pro keeps getting smaller, faster, and better, and cars keep getting more autonomous, I can definitely see people wearing the Apple Vision Pro while driving down the road. But could that actually be safe? Well, it depends upon how you define safe. As a lawyer, I have a responsibility to keep my work confidential and to keep my clients' data safe. So that's why I use NordVPN on my computers and phones whenever I'm on the go. The Wi-Fi at the courthouse is supposed to be secure, but it's not really hackers that I'm worried about, it's the local government and the cops. When defending my clients, I'm regularly streaming body camera footage that isn't open to the public, and Nord makes this seamless. Some days I have hours between cases and I have to stay productive. So NordVPN also helps me get work done while keeping everything confidential. When I can, I also love to go skiing.
Good job!
But cell service is terrible out on the mountain. So if I need to do any urgent work, I can use NordVPN on the ski resort's Wi-Fi to connect while keeping everything safe and confidential. It's safe, it's fast, and I can get back to having fun.
Good job!
My favorite feature is NordVPN's trusted network setting on the desktop app, and I have it enabled by default. When it sees that I'm not on a trusted home or office network, NordVPN automatically connects so that my data is secure and my connection safe, and I don't even have to think about it. Get the NordVPN 2-year plan plus 4 months free using this link just for our viewers. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. So I'm much safer from hackers and the government goons who want my clients' data, but will the Apple Vision Pro ever be safe? Today, it's definitely not safe for 3 reasons. First, while pass-through mode is amazing, the Apple Vision Pro also has apps that are full immersion. Watch how this creator goes from one mode to the other.
I have an idea. Let's go full immersion. Dude, you can drive in the rainforest.
You click one wrong button or the battery dies, and all of a sudden you're literally driving blind. And even if you're trying to do something like read a text message on your basically heads-up display, you're still distracted. It's no better than texting while driving using your handheld phone. The second problem is the field of vision. I love skiing, but I hate wearing ski goggles because then I have no peripheral vision. I can't imagine having that limited field of view while trying to drive a car. And think about trying to change lanes while driving down the interstate when you can't see anything to the left or right of you because of these giant ski goggles. And the third problem is that if wearing them feels like you're in a giant video game, I worry that drivers will actually start driving more like they're in a real-life version of Grand Theft Auto. They may forget that they're actually driving a car around the rest of us, and that people can die if you make the wrong decisions. It's not hard to envision game developers taking advantage of this platform and actually designing games where you're in full immersion mode, driving some type of make-believe race car, but you're really driving a real 2-ton car down the road. Heck, I've represented people who wrecked their cars driving around playing Pokemon Go.
What was that? Oh my gosh.
But on the other hand, I can see some arguments how this technology could actually make driving safer. What if the headset could actually connect to your car and have some type of driving mode like Apple CarPlay or Android Auto that limits what you could do? And what if the headset had a night vision mode or some type of heat vision like the Predator, so you could see pedestrians that are not really visible with the naked eye when you're driving at night? Or what if there's a Google Maps setting showing you an accident ahead and how far away it is? Instead of a beep or some type of indicator light on your dashboard, you could actually see the danger right in front of your eyes. An estimated 91,000 crashes in the US each year are due to drowsy driving. What if a device like the Apple Vision Pro could detect your eyelids getting droopy or detect your eyelids closing for too long and warn you that you're about to fall asleep? What if the Vision Pro could warn you if it detects signs of impairment via drugs or alcohol by looking at your eyes? I don't believe that the horizontal or vertical gaze nystagmus tests are foolproof, especially when administered by humans. But a computer with sensitive sensors like the Vision Pro could be trained to do some type of rudimentary eye test to see if the person could be exhibiting impairment. It could then warn you, instead of driving, you should be calling an Uber. So what does the law say about all this? I can't predict the future, but as your lawyer friend, it's my duty to inform you that you cannot lawfully drive down the road wearing an Apple Vision Pro. I'm a Virginia lawyer, but I would bet a crisp Benjamin that it violates existing traffic law in every single state of this country. Specifically, Virginia law says the driver cannot, quote, view any motion picture or similar display while driving. But that same law does carve out lots of exceptions for a technology we already have in our vehicles. This allows use of your phone or car screen for Google Maps, or for some of you, the old-fashioned GPS. This allows for use of a backup camera. This allows for just about everything on your dashboard and for fancy heads-up displays. And this allows for a passenger dash cam if you're an Uber driver. In fact, you could argue that number 4 might allow for an Apple Vision Pro to be used while driving in Virginia. I think you would lose that argument because it's not enhancing your view overall, it's actually limiting your view, especially due to the blinder effect on the sides of your vision. My point here is that it wouldn't take much change to add a simple exception in this statute to allow for the Vision Pro to be clearly used while driving someday down the road when they're designed to be a lot safer and don't limit your peripheral vision as much. Now for the tinfoil hat. Could the government someday require us to wear a device like the Vision Pro while driving? We're already required to wear seatbelts, and the government is actively working right now to require ambient alcohol detectors in our cars to try to reduce drunk driving. Why not make every driver wear glasses or goggles that can detect if you're driving drowsy or potentially impaired? It's not a far leap, especially when we're talking about ambient alcohol detectors in our cars. But with all that, should it ever be legal to drive while wearing the Apple Vision Pro? I still think the answer is no. We already have so many existing safety features like heads-up displays, distance alarms, adaptive cruise control, all sorts of things like this that keep us safer on the road and alert us to dangers, but they don't actually put a device or thing between our eyeballs, right at our eyeballs, where we can't see the road. I love my freedom and I want you to live free and stay free, but that doesn't mean we can just do anything we please, especially when current law does not permit the Apple Vision Pro while driving. Freedom doesn't mean you can just do anything you please, especially if it's endangering someone else. Or as Pope John Paul II put it, freedom consists not in doing what we like, but having the right to do what we ought. And what ought you do if you find a GPS tracker under your car? Throw it away? Maybe. Check out this next video where I explain exactly what you should do if you ever were to find one. And remember, don't talk to the police.